Yes. Okay. So first, we will see today market updates, and then after that, immediately we will start the session. Well, once again, welcome to all of you, and we will start today's session. Well, today's market is concerned, the NSE. So it is almost, you can see here to my extreme left, 12,060.8. That means it is up by 152 points. So some of the top gainers today, the stocks are concerned: State Bank of India, HCL Tech, Hindalco, Grasim, and Tata Steel. And some of the top losers for the day, you can see here: Hero MotoCorp, Power Grid, Titan, and Sun Pharma. Students, can you see the screen? Can anyone reply yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. And as I mentioned to you yesterday, you can when I open the book of a particular stock, so if more number of buyers are there, then automatically the price will appreciate, right? See, you can see here today's top gainer is State Bank of India. The current market price is 218.05. So it is up by 11 rupee 5 paise, and the opening was 216. So if you can open the book here, see order book, see how many buyers are there and how many sellers are there, right? And in the similar way, we can see even the top losers also. Hero MotoCorp. The current market price is how much? 2,945.30. It is down by 22.7. Okay. Now, if you see the order book, you can see the buying quantity and the selling quantity. This is called as the order book. So before buying and selling, once you have to check the order book, and you will basically come to you will get an idea that how many buyers are there and how many sellers are there for a particular script. And in the similar way, if I see the BSE website also, today the market is up by 543 points, 543.35, right? So 41,159.49 is today's Sensex, that is sensitivity index. So if you can see the graph here, you can see how it has opened and how in what May, that is Thursday, November 5th. So bit volatility is there, but overall, it's an upward movement what we are seeing in Sensex. So the percentage change when compared to yesterday's closing, it is 1.34. So just imagine if someone would have invested in the month of March or April, they would have made a returns of, very good returns, very decent returns. But who knew that the market will recover so early? And one more global factor, what I had mentioned to you earlier, that was US election. So who is leading? Can anyone tell me? Who is leading in US election? You all are watching the news or what? Who is leading in the US election now?
Joe Biden, sir.
You can see the screen here to 2020 election result.
Joe Biden,
Yes.
sir.
Joe Biden, 264. So almost 50.35%. You can see the number of voting also over there. And, Donald Trump, it is almost 214. So how much is required? 270 to win. That means 6 more. So easily we can say that Joe Biden will be the next US president. So probably, this time the markets are in the uptrend. So due to which you can see the advances here in the NSE, advances are 47, declines are 2, and unchanged is 1. That means out of 50 stocks, even yesterday, if you can see here, fantastic thing, Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma was yesterday's top gainer, but today it is a top loser in the list of top loser. See, 506.0, that means 1.35 down. Why? Let me see the order book here. There's more, exactly the twice of sellers are more here. You can see the order book here of Sun Pharma, right? So we have 12,64,540 sellers, whereas buyers are concerned, we have 6,26,167. So though the results are good, only yesterday it created a sentiment, a positive sentiment in the market, due to which the Sun Pharma went up early. And today again, more number of bears have come for this particular script, and it is coming down. Okay. So after having a glance of the market, now we will go to the subject. I'll close all the windows. So we have to just wait and see the next policies are concerned, US policies, because they'll be having a new president, a new team will be coming. So all these things really matters. Okay, students, today we will understand the trend line. So once again, I'm asking you, the screen is visible. Can anyone tell me yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Slides are
Yes, sir.
visible? Okay. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then perfect. With full of energy, we'll start today's session that is called as trend line. So upward, there are three types of trend normally, upward trend, downward trend, and the sideways trend. So first, we will try to understand all the three, then I'll be taking you to the diagram of that. Now, upward trend, as the name only suggests, this trend is denoted by the systematic and extended rise in the price of given currency pair over some prolonged period of time. This does not mean that the price of the given currency or equity or commodity never recedes, but merely that in the overall picture, the price rises more than it falls in the given time frame. So let me see how the upward trend looks like, or how you need to draw an upward trend, or how you can predict actually. Students, you tell me now, upward trend is concerned when bulls are more or when bears are more, upward trend forms.
Sir, bulls are more.
Okay, when the market, when bulls are more, when the buyers are more, obviously there will be an uptrend, right? Okay. So let me show you one simple diagram wherein you can easily identify the uptrend in the market. You can see here, right? See, the green indicates, you can see the screen. Can anyone tell me yes, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, higher highs is represented. You can see my cursor here with green, and higher lows is with red. So you can see a uptrend line here. You can draw an uptrend line. Now, basically, how to draw an uptrend line? You need to draw a line touching the higher lows. Please see here. You need to draw a line touching higher lows. So what technical analysts say that if there should be more than 2 points, there should be, see in this case it is 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means we can easily say that it's an uptrend in the market. That means there are more number of buyers who are there in the market. So how to draw an uptrend? We are touching the higher lows. Very simple. So an uptrend describes the price movement of a financial asset when the overall direction is upward. So in this case, you can see your students, the trend line, it's an upward trend. Okay. In an uptrend, what happens? Please understand, each successive peak, this is called as peak, and trough, this is called as trough. See, the point is here, it goes to this point, it again comes to this point. So every time what is happening, students, here, higher lows is forming. If you observe here, right? Higher lows. So this is a peak and this is a trough, and this is a peak and this is a trough. This is a peak and this is a trough. Correct? In an uptrend, what happens? Each successive peak and trough is higher than the ones found earlier in the trend. Correct? See, every time it is touching a new peak, every time it is touching a new low. Sorry, new higher low. I can use that word, new higher low. See, the uptrend is therefore composed of higher swing lows and higher swing highs. As long as the price is making these higher swing lows and higher swing highs, the uptrend is considered intact. See, once the price starts making lower swing highs or lower swing lows, the uptrend is in question or has reversed into an downtrend. An upward trend or uptrend is an overall move higher in price created by higher swing lows and higher swing highs. Now, students, when you need to take your position, that is very important, right? See, at this point, the first point is there, you are drawing the second and you are drawing the third. That means it's a confirmation that there's an uptrend which has been formed, right? So you can take your position at this point and put a stop loss here so that your next target will be this point. So I am teaching you in very, very fundamental way. Okay. What happens when it touches 2? That means there is a small hint. What I'm getting is there's an uptrend which is forming. The moment it reaches this point, that means 3 consecutive points have been touched, right? So when the moment it touches the 3 consecutive points, that means what you have to do, you can take your position at this point, putting this as stop loss, and the next target will be this. So what happens the moment it touches this point? So you can exit from the stock, right? So these are just predictions, students. These are not accurate. These are just predictions. Everything in this market is just a prediction. Nobody can tell you that this will work 100%. Okay. So the chances will be somewhere around 65%, sometimes 70%. So technical indicators and tools may aid in identifying and analyzing uptrends. Trend traders utilize uptrends by buying during pullbacks or as the price rises again, attempting to capture profits based on the concept that uptrends make higher lows and higher highs. When the price is no longer making higher lows and higher highs, the uptrend is in the question or may have reversed into a downtrend. Very important, students. See, here what is happening? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Here also you observe higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay. The moment it touches this point, there is a reversal here. You can see here, it did not move up again like this. Instead of that, it came down. So we have to wait for, again, how many points? 3 points. 3 points, right? Then what happens? We call it as a downtrend, downward trend, okay? So this is called as uptrend. Now we will see how the downtrend looks. Okay. Students, you can see the screen. Can anyone tell me yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what happens in downtrend? Please see there. This trend shares all the characteristics of the upward trend, but in the reverse direction. In the reverse direction, thus denoting the fall in the price of a given stock or a given commodity or given equity. Now, let me ask anyone in downtrend. Okay, Pooja Kusananavar, in downtrend, who will be more? The buyers will be more or the sellers will be more in downtrend, in the falling market? Bulls will be more or bears will be more?
Buyers, sir.
In downtrend, I'm telling you, in downtrend, who will be more? Why the stock will be falling? In the downtrend, bulls are more or bears are more? Buyers are more or sellers are more?
So bears.
Why it will be
Bears and
falling?
sellers.
Obviously, sellers will be more, right? Pooja.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me explain you. When more number of buyers are there, we call it as a bullish market. So normally the price of a stock will go up, correct? When there's a demand for a particular company, the price will go up. Why? Because more number of buyers will come. And when more number of sellers are there, when more number of bears are there in the market, automatically what they do, they sell. So as the selling pressure increases, remember this, as the selling pressure increases, so a downtrend will be formed, right? You can even see here, I showed you, right, in the book. Let me show you once again. In the book also I showed you just now, if more number of sellers are there, if more number of bears are there, then automatically what happens? The particular stock will come down. So here in this case, you can see Hero, let me take Sun Pharma only. Again, example. Please see here, students. Here you can see here, it's on a real-time basis. This market, what I'm taking you, what I'm explaining you, everything is on the real-time basis. I'm not giving any example, taking from the historical data. It's on a real-time basis. See, Sun Pharma stock, you can see. Vishal, can you tell me how many sellers are there, or selling total quantity, how many stocks are there? For
So
Sun Pharma?
13,81,744.
Okay, so whether sellers are there or buyers are more?
Sellers are more, sir.
Sellers are more, right? So when sellers are more, automatically what happens? The price of the equity can still drop further. Correct? So when more number of bears are there, that means the demand for a particular script will be less. So what happens at that time? A downtrend will be formed. So what is a downtrend? This trend shares all the characteristics of the uptrend, but in the reverse direction, thus denoting the fall in the price of a equity or a commodity. So a downtrend refers to the price action of a security that moves lower in price as it fluctuates over time. While the price may move every time, it will be touching the new low. Downtrends are characterized by lower peaks. See here, students, these are called lower peaks and lower troughs. See, every time in case of downtrend, what happens? It starts falling from here. It will touch a new low. Then again, a lower high. And again, a lower low. And again, a lower high. And again, a low. Okay? So how many points? If you draw here, 2. So again, the next point comes, I can take my position in the market. Let me show you one more. Okay. Okay, let me show you the beginning of a downtrend. Okay. Now, students, what happens here? You can easily see here. 1, the points also they have mentioned. 2, it's an uptrend. Then automatically what happens? It is touching the new lows, right? Then comes the next point, 3. And see here, 4. See, 2 is here and 4 is here. And again, a new low, 5 is formed. And again, the high is also low compared to the previous one. And again, 7. See here how easily we can identify the downtrend, right? See the first point here, 1. And again, it reaches peak, that is 2. Then it comes to point number 3, which is lower compared to 1. And again, 4 is lower compared to 2. And even 5 is lower compared to 3. And 6 is lower compared to 4. What I'm trying to tell is 2, 4, 6. Every time, if you draw a downward trend, so every time it is touching the new lows, even peak will be lows and troughs will be lows. So easily we can identify that it is a downtrend. So downtrends are characterized by lower peaks and troughs and imply fundamental changes in the beliefs of investors. A change in the trend is fueled by a change in the supply of stocks. Investors want to sell compared with the demand for the stock by investors who want to buy. Downtrends are coincidental with the changes in the factors that surround the security, whether macroeconomic or specifically associated with the company's business model. Now, students, one thing you need to understand that why do a person purchases a particular equity? Because the price of a share will go up, right? Then he will make a profit and come out of that particular company. And in downtrend also, we can easily make profit. How? Let me tell you now. In the falling market also, we can make money. Can anyone tell me how? In the when the market is going up, when the market is going up, we will buy and sell when it goes up. When the market is falling down also, we can make money. How? Can anyone explain me how? In the falling market?
So first we need to sell the shares.
Okay.
After that, at the end of the day, we need to square up the shares.
Prashant.
Yes, sir.
Very good. What do you call that strategy as, Prashant?
Short selling, sir.
Fantastic. Very good. Very good. See, all of you, please know this. What I told you just now is you can make the profit in the uptrend also. You can make money even in the downtrend also. Correct? So how we can make money? See, identify now. Now say, for example, I will take one of the stock called as SBI, that is State Bank of India. In a simple way, I'll explain you, students. Today's opening was what? 216, right? So 216, I purchase 1000 quantity of SBI. Why do I purchase? I'm using the word purchase. 216 multiplied by 1000, that means 2,16,000 is my total investment, right? Why do I purchase? Because thinking that the price will go up, correct? So if I sell at 217, I make a net profit of how much? 1 rupee per share, correct? 216 I buy, 217 is the current market price. So I make net 1 rupee profit per share. Now, this everyone understood. Sir, buying we understood, sir. How about selling? As Prashant mentioned, that strategy is called short selling. That means I am sure that the equity stock will fall today. So what I do, I come early in the morning. I sell 1000 shares at 508. That is Sun Pharma is concerned. So 508 multiplied by 1000, that is 5,80,000 shares. I sell it. Please see here. Please understand, students. If you have any queries, ask me. This strategy is called short selling. So at 508, I sell 1000 shares of Sun Pharma. Then what I do is, when the stock price comes to 504, when it comes down, so I buy that. I purchase that again. That is called as short covering. So first what I do, I short. I sell 1000 shares of Sun Pharma at 508. I know that the price will come down. So when it comes to 504, I get it back. I purchase, making my net position as 0. Now how much profit I make? Just see here, 5,08,000, 504. I make a profit of 4,000 rupee, even in the falling market also. That strategy is called as short position. So I can make money even in the uptrend also, and I can make money even in the downtrend also. So someone is purchasing the stock because the share price will go up. Someone is selling the stock because there are all probabilities that the share price will come down. You can see here. So that strategy is called short selling. But if someone asks me, sir, I have sold at 508, sir. What if I do not cover my position? Please understand. Can anyone tell me? I have sold 508 at the price of 508, 1000 shares. I do not have those shares in my Demat account. So I have done a short selling of Sun Pharma shares at 508, 1000 quantity. So what happens if I do not cover on the same day?
Sir, there will be a 3:30 to 4 o'clock broker's timing. We can tell directly to the brokers to square up our shares. If
no,
they are
I do not tell.
able to,
What happens? Where it will go?
Sir, it's a share auction, sir.
Fantastic. It will go to auction market. Please understand, I'll explain you one more strategy today. If I do not sell, if I do not purchase, I square off my position before the market close. So it will go to auction market. Now, what is an auction market? Students, an auction market is a market where the price is determined by the highest price of the buyer. See. I'll explain you once again. I sold at 508. I do not have the shares of Sun Pharma in my demat account. I have done a short selling. Then if I do not cover my position by 330, it will go to which market? Auction market. So what is an auction market? An auction market is a market where the price is determined by the highest price the buyer is willing to pay. So who is in loss here? I am in loss. Who? The person who has done short selling and he has not covered his position on the same day. I will be in huge loss. Okay. The price is determined by the highest price the buyer is willing to pay and the lowest price the seller is willing to take. So an auction market is one where buyers as well as sellers enter competitive bids simultaneously. The price normally at which a stock trades represents the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay and the lowest price that a seller is willing to accept. So what is this auction market? I told you one more strategy, right? Auction market process. Now, one more question to all of you. Suppose I buy a share and I do not sell it on the same day. Can I convert my intraday position into delivery position?
Yes, sir.
You understand? Yeah, very good. Very good. Suppose if I buy 100 shares of Sun Pharma, but my initial position was for intraday, that is selling on the same day. But I want to convert my position for a delivery buying. That is delivery buying is what? I need to hold it in my demat account, right? So I can do that, right? I need to just inform the broker that I need to convert my position, whatever I have taken on intraday basis, that has to be converted on delivery basis. That's all. But if I sell the shares which are not there in my demat account, and if I do not buy it back or if I do not purchase it back, then it will go to which market? Auction market, right? So in auction market, one question will be asked to all the investors or traders that if you do not have the shares in your demat account, then why you have sold it? Why you have sold it, right? Because it's a gambling, right? It's a gambling. So what is this auction market process? The process involved in an auction market differs from the process in OTC market. There are no direct negotiations between individual buyers and sellers. An auction market is one where buyers and sellers enter competitive bids simultaneously. The price at which a stock trades represents the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay. Now, what happens in auction market, students? Suppose if I have sold at 508, then it goes to auction market. Then you need to buy it back, right? Then only your position will be 0. But what price someone is ready to sell? He might sell it at a highest price. You need to purchase it from him. Otherwise, no other option for you in the auction market, which you cannot participate. The exchange will only take the call on that. A double auction market is when a buyer's price and a seller's price asking price match and the trade proceeds at that price. Auction markets do not involve direct negotiations between individual buyers. See, that's what I told you just now. An auction market do not involve direct negotiations between the individual buyers and sellers, right? An auction market, also known as a double auction market, allows buyers and sellers to submit prices they deem acceptable to a list. When a match between a buyer's price and a seller's asking price is found, the trade proceeds at that price. Trades without matches will not be executed. That is a very important scenario. Okay. So now you understood what? Uptrend you understood and downtrend you understood. Now we will try to understand sideways. That is the last type of trend that's called as sideways trend. See, this trend is also known as a trendless. That means the stock movement is concerned, it will neither move in the uptrend or in the upward direction, or neither it will move in the downward direction. It will be only moving in the sideways. I will show you the picture of that, the diagram of that. So it is also known as a trendless ranging or a flat market. Normally, we call it as a flat market. Though similar to the other two types, the sideways trend shows no major difference in the price values between the beginning and the end of a specific time period. The sideways trend denotes market condition in which prices may be moving back and forth between the levels of support and resistance. So let me show you once the support and resistance also, because every time, in fact, in the previous class, one of the resource person also showed you the support and resistance, and I have also explained you. But in spite of that, let me show you two diagrams now. One is sideways and the support and resistance also. Plenty of websites are there, students. Livecharting.com, if you open, plenty of websites are there wherein you can see. Okay. First, let me show you sideways, then I'll take, okay. See here, example of a sideways market or a sideways movement of a particular stock. So this trend is also sometimes called as what? A trendless. See what happens, you can see here, it will be moving, between these two channels here. The market, what we call it as a flat market also. A sideways market, sometimes called as sideways drift. Just within these two things, it will be moving like this. Neither it will do a breakout, or neither it will cross this, or neither it will come down. So this is called as sideways market support. See, a strong support is there here when 3 points are touching. A strong support is there and a strong resistance is there here. Right? So highs are called as resistance. The moment it will break here, we need to identify the next 3 points. And the moment it breaks here, that is the support, we need to identify the next 3 lows so that we can form a downtrend. But this is called as sideways. See, a sideways market, sometimes called sideways drift, refers to when asset prices fluctuate within a tight range. See, I'm using the word called as tight range. Here, these two parallel lines are called as tight range. That means the price of a particular stock will be in this particular zone only. It will be moving in the sideways. Till what time? For an extended period of time without trending one way or the other. See, sideways markets are typically described by regions of price support and resistance. As I mentioned to you, see, these are called as resistance level and these are called as support level of a particular stock, within which the price oscillates. Within this particular thing, the price will be oscillating. Trading a sideways market can be tricky, but certain option strategy maximize their payoff in such situation. Market participants can exploit a sideways market by anticipating breakouts, as I mentioned to you, either above or below. So if it breaks this particular line, the two parallel lines are there, right? This is called as a resistance line and a support line. If it breaks this, we need to identify the next 3 points and draw a trend line. Similarly, if it breaks this down, we need to identify the next 3 points and draw a line so that we can take our position in the market. See, these charting will be normally used by intraday traders. Okay. See, traders who use a range bound strategy should make sure that the sideways market is wide enough to set a risk reward ratio of at least 2:1. Sideways market also get referred to as choppy or non-trending markets. If the sideways drift is expected to remain for an extended period, investors can profit by selling call and put options with approaching expiration. Now, if you are seeing this sideways also, you can take your position here and you can sell it here. You can double sell. In fact, you can take where you can purchase here and you can double sell here, and you can again cover your position here. You can double sell here and you can again cover your position. If you are a short-term trader, you can even make money even in sideways also, provided it should be for an extended period. Sometimes what happens is it will have sideways for 3 to 4 points. It will touch 3 support and 3 resistance. Then it might even go for a uptrend. That means it can break this line and go above that, or it can break this line and come below this. So what you can do is you can if you are a short-term trader, you can take your buying position here and sell here and double sell here and cover here. Like that, you can make huge amount of money even in the sideways, provided you need to identify. Suppose if it is an extended period of sideways, you can easily make money, but with stop loss. Stop loss is very, very important, students. You need to trade, or if you are a trader, always use stop loss. That will minimize your losses. If you do not use stop loss, sometimes you will incur huge losses. Suppose a breakout happens. Suppose a breakout happens, then it is very, very difficult for you. Let me try to explain you this stop loss also. Sometimes we call it as a, if you do not cover 1 minute. A easy chart so that I can explain in a better way. Okay, now how to set basically our stop loss. Stop the loss, very important, right? Now what is happening here? See, you can see here, you can measure the length for this distance. In this case, it is this particular length. If it is a downtrend, the similar parallel way, you can have it here. Then at this point, you can set a stop loss. Okay, or if you are taking your position here, a selling position here, you need to match this particular thing, and the moment it touches here, you can take your stop loss at this point, and the moment it comes to here, you can take your stop loss here. Stop the loss, that's all. Okay, then the moment it comes here, you can take your position here. The moment it comes here, you can take the position here, like that. So every time when it is touching the new low, you can slightly modify your stop loss orders also. So this was about the trend lines, that is upward trend, downward trend, and sideways. Now just a recap of the line chart and the bar chart, what we understood yesterday. The line chart, as we know yesterday, what we have discussed, is the most basic chart type, and it uses only one data point to form the chart. When it comes to technical analysis, a line chart is formed by plotting the closing prices of a stock or an index. This is very important. A dot is placed for each closing price, and the various dots are then connected by a line. The line charts can be plotted for various time frames, namely monthly. You can plot it for on a monthly range, or a weekly range, or even hourly range also. So if you wish to draw a weekly line chart, you can use weekly closing prices of securities, and likewise for the other time frames as well. The advantage of this line chart is its simplicity. That means just you have to plot or draw a line based on the closing price of a stock or an index, right? With one glance, the trader can identify the general trend of a security. However, the disadvantage of the line chart is also its simplicity. So besides giving the analyst a view on the trend, the line chart does not provide any additional detail. Plus, the line chart also takes into consideration only the closing prices, ignoring the open, high, and low, what we saw in Japanese candlesticks. For this reason, traders prefer not to use the line charts because of its simplicity. Even the bar chart, on the other hand, is a bit more versatile. A bar displays all the 4 price variables, namely open, high, low, and close. A bar has 3 components. Yesterday we saw it. The central line will be there. The top of the bar indicates the highest price the security has reached. The bottom end of the bar indicates the lowest price for the same period. The left mark or tick indicates the open. The right mark or tick indicates the close. Now, yesterday even we discussed about the Japanese candlesticks also, students, wherein we saw that body of a Japanese candlesticks. We can see the high, low, the price range movement. Also, we can use, we can predict, or we can use using Japanese candlesticks. We can even view that. So before we jump in, the worth spending time is to understand in brief the history of the Japanese candlestick. As the name suggests, the candlestick originated from Japan. The earliest use of candlestick dates back to the 18th century by a Japanese rice merchant named Homma Munishiya. Though the candlesticks have been in existence for a long time in Japan and are probably the oldest form of price analysis, the Western world traders were clueless about it. It is believed that sometime around 1980s, a trader named Steve Nyssen accidentally discovered candlesticks, and he introduced the methodology to the rest of the world. He authored the first ever book on candlesticks titled Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques, which is still a very favorite amongst many traders. Till today, students, it is one of the most popular method used by traders worldwide, not only in India, but worldwide. Most of the pattern in candlesticks still retains the Japanese names, thus giving an oriental feel to technical analysis. Then candlestick anatomy. See, while in a bar chart, the open and the close prices are shown by a tick on the left and the right side of the bar respectively. Now, when I say a tick, let me show you. So what I mean to say tick is concerned this one. Yesterday we saw that. Yeah, see here. The bar chart, the open and the close prices are shown by a tick. So these are the ticks. The opening and the closing are concerned. However, in a candlestick, the open and the close prices are displayed by a rectangular body. In a candlestick chart, candles can be classified as a bullish or a bearish candle, usually represented by, so yesterday what we saw, the green and the red, right? So green indicates what? Bullish, and red indicates bearish normally, or sometimes we even use blue, green, white. So blue, green, white indicates a bullish candle, whereas red, black candles respectively, they are very bearish. That means more number of sellers are there. So needless to say, the colors can be customized to any color of your choice. The technical analysis software allows you to do this. The candlestick, like a bar chart, is made up of 3 components. The central real body, yesterday we even saw that. Then the upper shadow, which connects the high point to the close, and the lower shadows, which connects the low point to the open. Let me show you one of the bar chart again. Sorry, the Japanese candlesticks again. How exactly? See, students, you can, this is called as a bullish and this is called as a bearish candlestick. As I mentioned to you, green, blue, and white normally they use it for bullish, as well as red and black, they use it for bearish. So in case of bullish candle, what happens is, this point is called as the highest point wherein the price of a particular stock has moved in an intraday, and this is the closing of a particular stock or index, and this will be the opening. Opening will be always here in case of a bullish candle, and the low will be at this point. Whereas exactly converse of that you can see in the bearish candle. You can see this indication also, which shows that the price is moving up. It's a bullish candle, right? And in case of bearish candle, or you can say a decreasing, you can see opening here and closing will be at a high point. Whereas in case of bearish candle, the opening will be here and the closing will be at a lower point. See here, students, right? And it will touch high and it will come to even low also, this point. The high and low will remain the same, but the change here is in opening and closing, okay? In bearish candle, the opening will be at this point and the closing will be at this point. In case of a bullish candle, the opening will be at this point and the closing will be at this point, okay? So these two are called as body. This rectangular shape, they are called as body. The central real body, rectangular, connects the opening and the closing price, correct? So this rectangular body connects the opening and the closing price in both the diagrams, in case of bullish as well as in case of bearish. So I will not take further. In the tomorrow's class, I'll be taking you to the indicators. So today, whatever concept I have explained, have you understood, or any doubts here, please ask me. Students, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day to all of you and take care. So I'll end today's session. Thank you so much. And every day I'm sending the recorded video. So what is your duty is, to all of you, I'm repeating, whenever I'll be sending you the email of the video, kindly once just see one more time the video so that you can understand the concepts in a better way. Okay. So thank you so much, students, for your patience listening. Have a great day to all of you. Bye-bye and take care.